Welcome to the Skywalker podcast once again. This time we're covering the original trilogy in all its glory, and arguably much better than the sequel trilogy anyway. But
fuck Ace Rain.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
Ace Rain.
you
Fuck
say-
Ace Rain.
Fuck
He's
Ace
just
Rain.
Fuck him.
Burn him. Anyway, burn him to
Let's
death.
organise a witch hunt.
Right. Anyway, enough of the rich hunt. We can
They
save
still
that.
do
We can
this
save
now,
that for
right?
another podcast where we just rant about Ace Rain. That'd be funny. Anyway.
The Ace Racism podcast.
We are joined by Gandalf as because he's Gandalf, but he doesn't
Appearance.
like Lord of the Rings
Good day.
as much as Star Wars, so maybe he should change his name. But
I actually like Star Wars more than Lord of the Rings.
change your profile picture.
Okay.
Okay,
Well-
maybe you should. The only reason he isn't Obi-Wan is because I stole the idea of the profile
I mean-
picture.
The reason why I took Gandalf was just because I met someone in Napoleon Total War called Gandalf the Gay, and then I just took his name.
That is true.
Gandalf the Gay.
That's not bad.
Oh, that's great. I
The
love
only thing
that
I'm
so
pretty sure
much.
Gandalf's got a thing for that elf chick, so
Yeah, sure will.
I mean,
Anyway,
I
You have a thing
mean-
of touching large bits of wood.
you wouldn't know about that, would you?
oh god, yeah. Unfortunately, we weren't joined here today by Origins Gaming. He was too busy mowing the
shall
lawn
not
at
get
fucking
a
8 p.m. And then eventually, as we asked him a couple minutes later, "Do you want to join the call?" He says, "I'm gonna go to sleep at half 8."
Me too.
Oh,
Yeah, what a fucking
Oh.
scumbag.
even Ace Rain wouldn't do that.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, see, he
we have
mows his lawn.
next Saturday. We're gonna have
follows
some
through with
pretty strong words to say about
bullying.
him. Yeah. Anyway,
We were supposed to start this at 2.
what 2?
We were
In his
supposed
time, it
to.
was 2.
Oh yeah, sorry.
2 p.m.
We were supposed to start this an hour and 42 minutes.
An hour,
yeah,
an hour and
well,
42 minutes.
well, someone had to go watch the fucking space launch, so.
I'm sorry, but at least I'm not consistently late for 30 minutes every episode.
Boy,
Mythic. Sorry. What?
What do you mean?
I
You mean your boy? Yeah,
Yes, that's what
yeah,
it is.
right.
you mean your boy?
Yeah. Right. Anyway, episode 4. We shall begin with the first scene. All right.
What's that about?
I think you know what it's about. The film's been out for fucking many.
Right, let's start with a New Hope.
So guys,
All right.
what
so,
are we talking about?
the
A New
Death Star
Hope.
plans.
Okay, so Sauron he attacks he kills the whole Gondor army. Ain't that?
It's a new
Darth
Pope.
Vader.
that
Except they're gonna excommunicate you and
Oh.
then faction reconcile.
The Pope. The
A
Pope has
new
come down.
Pope.
In the name of
A new
God,
Pope.
it's Jesus.
No,
It's
Pope!
You can't call a crusade.
Fire!
It's been too little.
Fight
time.
that man. Kill him now. Fire.
Crusade for Cairo.
Anyway, right,
Coruscant.
episode 4. What does everyone hate about the film?
Not
Um,
much really. It's just got a terrible.
Ah,
Terrible. What did you say? Terrible. What?
Wait, have you seen Scene 38 reimagined?
Oh yeah, but that's
Yeah.
an entirely different
That's
thing.
that is how that should have
we
been
will get
redone
to
in
that.
special edition.
We will get
Because
to that.
that's
When-
that's the only thing I actually genuinely hate about the film.
We will get to that later.
Because I'm going through with things I hate,
All right, go
and
ahead.
I hate that scene. I hate the fight scene because it's tremendously boring for a fight scene of like that should be epic.
Yeah, but back when George Lucas made the franchise, it was just gonna be one.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah,
But
like,
if he's going to do
have you
special
seen the-
editions
have
with
you seen the-
CGI, then he might as well fix the things that he should fix.
Have you seen like the lightsaber combat with Kenobi and Darth Vader? They like don't move with the prod. It's just
They
the
don't.
hands.
They don't actually touch things together because they're made
It
of
is
really
the one
flesh
depressing thing about that film. It's like the fight scene, like
The
old enemies
lightsabers
fighting
are
to
made
the
of
death.
really flimsy
Nah.
material, so they couldn't actually touch them together because otherwise they would break.
Anyway,
That's why the screen
the thing
flashes
that-
when the
thing that I
lightsabers
kinda
get close. So
hated
you
about
fill
that,
in the
hated
gap.
about that scene is that everyone just gave up so fucking easily. Like really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, he's gonna become more powerful than any Jedi. That's a completely different reference. But
That's
he
basically
would have like fought a bit harder than just like, yeah, Luke.
How the hell did Obi-Wan
Force
just
will be with you
teleport
always
away?
and just dies. No, because he did the same thing that Yoda did.
Oh, he died,
Yeah.
and then just
He
became like
died.
a spirit.
He died.
And he died.
Yeah. We got hit in the fucking stomach with a lightsaber. I don't think he's getting back up from that.
Dude, he's fine. He's fine. He's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
He's just chilling.
I met him yesterday
Yeah.
at the coffee shop.
Yeah, funny enough, the actor who played Obi-Wan is dead. So yeah.
He's not.
What do you mean he's
I
not?
just
Well, original Obi-Wan.
died
with
just
Alec
met him.
Guinness. I love how Alec Guinness was in The Great Escape, but people remember him for fucking A New Hope.
To be fair,
Like,
the
he's in The
funny,
Great
funny thing
Escape.
about that film is that the actor didn't know what the hell's going on. He was like, yeah,
He did-
yeah, the Jedi
he
and the
didn't-
whatever.
He didn't care at all. He didn't even want to be in the film. He did it because they paid him enough.
Oh yeah, they paid him like £1 million. He was like, yeah, okay. It's like the case.
To be honest,
with most
him and
films.
Harrison Ford are the reason the films succeeded. Without them, it would have flopped.
Yeah.
About Star Wars, my
Wait, guys, this is Star Wars? I thought we were talking about Star Trek.
Jeez.
my nan's friend from work's brother.
Mine now.
Brother made he's the only one who've made a location video about Star Wars. All the Star Wars films.
Where a
That's
location video, and went to
Yeah.
all of the locations they filmed
Yeah,
Star Wars.
yeah.
That's
Like-
actually cool, isn't it?
It's like 5 years. No, like 2 years he spent on just trying to find all the locations. So he went to Tunisia and the desert in California and all.
That's sick.
That's
There's
actually
one
really
deleted scene they should have kept in was the remember when Luke goes to the Toshi station?
Oh no, that was really boring.
Coffee station.
I hate that
It
scene.
wasn't boring. It was sort of like they
It just
look up and they're
introduces
like,
a
oh.
character that we don't know who the fuck he is when he goes,
Well-
"Oh, what are you doing?" later on.
Yeah, well, that's big Stark Light. I mean, it's like the best.
It just means we don't know who the fuck that guy in the pilot who goes, "Oh, you're my best mate." We don't know who
I mean,
he
that
is.
sort of gives a bit of mean to that character. So, oh, that Luke knows him.
Yeah,
he met
but,
him,
this
you know.
deleted scene is really terribly written and acted, and would have broken the flow so much.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't fully edited as well. To be fair, but like George Lucas put it in. He was like, "Oh, I might edit this in," but then he just didn't. Because Hollywood was like, "Oh no."
Because I don't understand
we
what.
don't
Yeah,
need
when
that."
you get to filming a scene, you'd think about whether it was important to the plot or not, and
Yeah,
then they cut
Hola,
scenes like
yo soy
later on.
Jorge.
What the fuck?
Hola, yo soy Jorge.
Okay, we gone back to fucking medieval 2 fucking quotes again. Here we go. Oh boy.
What?
Right. Anyone else have anything to add about what they didn't like about the film?
Just say hi, guys. I'm Ace Friend.
What? What's
Hola,
that?
amigo.
I said
Fucking
red Kevin
podcast.
Fisher.
What the
What
hell?
happened to his microphone?
Just had a heart attack.
Gandalf's dying.
Just passed out.
God sake.
Gandalf. What can I say? He's gonna become Gandalf the Black.
It's because my microphone is pretty
It's
strange.
so
Sometimes it just becomes like a robot.
What?
Say cuántos años tienes?
Yeah.
Right,
Anyway, right. What I didn't like about the film. God, is there anything I didn't like about the film? Shit. As how meaningless like Alderaan was to Leia. Like she just didn't give a shit. Like she comforted Luke instead
Yeah.
of Luke comforting her. But yeah, like billions of people died. Your family died, and she was like, it's alright. What? What?
It's true, she didn't really care that everyone she knew is dead.
Yeah, that wasn't probably the best. part,
Everyone
actually,
she
that
knew,
bit.
every single memory she had,
Bang.
It's dead.
It's gone.
everything gone.
Yeah, she just didn't give a shit. It's like, oh, okay. And
Also,
it's a
are
bit
you
of
just a
plot
little
hole.
short for a stormtrooper, right?
It's a bit of a plot hole, right?
Have you seen the Family Guys? Have you seen the Family
Oh
Guys?
yeah,
Star
I've
Wars?
seen that.
When he's like, oh, well, fuck you then, I'm gonna leave you here to rot. It's true. It's just such an asshole thing to say to someone who's come to save you.
Yeah, it's just like oh, let's pull the couch out. Do you remember that scene with that couch? Right, just
I
a little bit
condone.
to the left, little bit to the left. Come on, little bit to the left. The Family Guy. film
Also, there are no
was fucking
handrailings in the
hilarious.
Death.
Fuck Leia.
And also,
Luke,
okay,
Luke,
alright.
Luke.
I know you want to fuck Leia, but that doesn't mean we are.
Sweet home
I
Alabama, boy. All right,
Obama.
just calm down there. All right, okay.
I mean, I don't really.
I'm more of a Natalie
I
Portman.
really
I
man.
mean, you're gonna end up getting fucking Donald Trump on the phone, like supporting
That
Mrs. Right.
person. I
Anyway,
really want
Mythic's right. Mythics don't have right.
Okay,
I have right.
Right, and also one thing I didn't like is how easy the Death Star got blown up. Like it's meant to be
Yeah.
a massive like fucking space station, like impenetrable. Yet they just leave a fucking gap in the fucking fuel system.
I find it funny that they just.
That's what you always do.
Yeah, but it's just repetitive and retarded. Like the Emperor Palpatine's like the most smartest guy in the galaxy. He's like, yeah, I'm sure they won't mind if I just leave a fucking gap in their fuel system. That could potentially blow up the entire station.
Nah, dude, it's fine.
Nah, it's alright. The force is with me, guys. I've got this. And he's get blown up. He's like, oh, fuck. Who the hell are they? The hell's an aluminum falcon?
Aluminum falcon.
Ah, fucking brilliant.
Robot chicken is great. It's aluminium.
Oh, what the hell
That's
are
like-
you?
You said
You've been
aluminum.
flying around for space for
Yeah,
5
because that's
weeks
what they
without
say
a
in
goddamn
Robot Chicken.
sequel?
Uh,
That's the scene they should have added in. Does the Emperor just fucking yelling at Vader? Hilarious. Well, then again, Emperor Palpatine wasn't even meant to be a thing until later on.
Oh god, yeah.
Anyway, and also, what was the other fucking thing that was really like,
That's right.
like Luke's aunt and uncle like burning up and like burning to a crisp and getting like killed. But Luke,
Well-
I mean, Luke seemed pissed off, but he didn't like shed a tear. Like he didn't show that.
no, you really didn't.
Stone cold.
He's an emotionless husk
Yeah,
of a
he
human.
kills his own nephew. But yeah, that's when Luke was out of character. But there you go.
He was in his
He wasn't a
teenage
character,
years.
he's
I don't
just
like my
someone who
parents.
like empathize.
Fuck my parents.
He's
Fucking
like
uncle and aunt.
He's a bland anime protagonist.
I'm an e-boy.
He's an e-boy, yeah, he's got clothes. E-boy Luke Skywalker.
I don't like my parents.
Goddamn fuckers. I hate you. I hate you.
I wear cross earring. I wear an earring.
What other bits were
I'm an
retarded in
e-boy.
the film? Probably. I don't know. What else is really bad in that film?
What are you on about? You just say something and then you just stop.
Oh, I said, what
You
else
go,
is
wait.
like really shit in the game? In
and
the
then you
film?
stop, and then you just that's all you wanted to say.
Yeah, he does kind of cut off.
Yeah.
Oh, Lucian messages.
How exciting.
That's
Anyway.
sexy.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, really. I guess.
Yeah.
We're done.
Anyway, for
All right, guys.
we
Thanks for coming out.
haven't discussed discussed the good part of the film yet.
Oh.
Okay.
Right, Gandalf, go first.
About what?
Fucking hell.
What I liked about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It revolutionized the way to make movies with all these CGI things and stuff like that. Science fiction.
Yeah.
Wait, they didn't use CGI.
No, I mean, like, it was the first science fiction movie which
Yeah.
revolutionized all.
You mean space sci-fi?
Oh,
Yeah,
shut up.
yeah.
It's not your turn. It's not your turn. Let him peek. Damn it.
You just keep saying things that aren't true. Right, continue,
Yeah.
Gandalf. I'm sorry.
Right, you done?
Well, Just Lucas had a beautiful mindset of how the new movies in our world should be. So he pretty much revolutionized the whole way of filmmaking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Kalos.
Right, Miffit, you go next.
All right. So talking about what we
Fuck
like.
you!
He hates you because you
like-
didn't do your intro.
Hey guys, Mythic here, and welcome back to the Skywalker podcast.
That is
Yeah,
so
we'll be
much
talking
better.
about what I like about the movie. And
No, Catalan Independent.
Hold up. Don't put those bloody nationalists on my comment section.
I'm actually a
God damn
quarter Catalan, so
yeah, that's why I cut it out.
I'm a quarter Basque as well. So the two parts of Spain that want independence are the parts that make up me.
Do you believe that they should? Because I don't think so. I mean, what?
I think
Oh,
Catalonia should be independent if it wants it, but I don't think it wants it.
I mean, it's
Oh.
Just like
The Basque
Kind
country
of the-
physically wouldn't survive as a country if it did, but Catalonia could.
All right. So
This is
I,
what
I
they
really
want in
like
Star Wars.
I like the reveal of the Emperor and Darth Vader in the Death Star. Where they like come in on
The
the
Emperor isn't even in episode 4.
What the fuck?
whatever one it was. I don't care.
Episode 4!
I know what episode. I just I haven't
like
watched the
Sam.
movie in like 8 years.
What?
I haven't watched the movie in 8 years. All right.
Yeah, but you know the Emperor didn't turn up in that film. Come on.
8 years!
Actually, no.
You're not
They
even-
mention that the Emperor has disbanded the Senate, so there's mention of him.
Yeah, they do, but obviously the Empire is going to have an Emperor.
Yeah.
Is it though?
Yeah, because you can't just have an Empire.
Anyway,
as an
I like the ship.
That's France.
Okay, I like the ship flying in scene. It was nice.
Mm.
I like everything that you do with shipping.
this is where the fun begins.
Alright, guys, I found something. It's not related, but you know the Revenge of the Jedi original plan. I found the
What?
script for it. I just found it.
The whole script.
Yeah, the fucking entire script.
That's pretty epic.
The
Can we
fuck?
read it out?
I mean, no,
Can we-
we
Yeah,
read it out.
read
when
it out,
we
we're
get
gonna
to
read it
Return of
out.
the Jedi. We read it out when we get to Return of the Jedi.
We should
Can we-
do a script
do it-
reading thing
do
where
it
we
in
should
read
do a
through
live-
the script
Guys,
of
do
the
it in
films. Yeah, and we give each other. We all have characters. And we do a full
Can
script.
I be Clone 1? Can I be Stormtrooper 1?
I want to be.
I'll be like,
Yeah, if you're a
I'll be,
stormtrooper,
or
you
like,
just won't be able to hit
well, we
anything.
pick people who
I wanna
actually
be-
have the worst
I wanna be
I
impression.
can't goddamn hit
So,
a
like,
damn
I can't-
thing.
Like, I physically can't do a Darth Vader impression or a Princess
I
Leia
find your
impression,
lack of
so
faith
I'll be
disturbing.
given the parts. So we
Post
each
the
get the parts that we can't do.
post the
to make it
script
even
and
more
we-
fucking funny.
Know the power of the dark
post
side
this-
of the force. I shall.
The
Po-
power
post-
of
post
the
the link to the
dark
script.
side.
I will.
Hey yo,
Infinite
No
power.
mic chat.
man.
Anyway, back to well, actually I haven't discussed
Oh
it.
my God.
Your boy, you're next.
Your boy.
Your boy.
Your boy, my boy.
What's up?
Hi guys,
Don't
welcome to
do
another
that.
video.
Daddy.
Today we're back in Rome Total War. This is episode 5 of my Egypt campaign.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Yes, the return. No,
Right,
no one,
so,
no one
okay,
gives a
okay.
shit about that.
Okay, we're doing
okay?
a new hope. A new hope. So what I like about it, it's just a decent film, it's fun, it doesn't really make you think it doesn't make you think at all. It's just fine. It's passable. It does its job.
Very
And it
wise
introduced the
words.
theories. It was revolutionary for the time. The spaceships all look really, really good for the time and now.
Oh yeah.
And they're my favorite bits of the film. Star Destroyers will stick fucking better.
But
yeah, Also, the special editions redid the explosion for Alderaan and made it look 1,000 times better. But yeah, it's one of the only films that actually improved with the special editions.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Hey, I never watched the original one.
yeah, I got the CD that had the special edition and the original, and I remember actually thinking as a kid, there's the only difference between these two is the fact that they have an extra cantina scene, extra little few seconds of cantina scene in episode 4.
Mm.
That's why it's so dumb when all of the like ultra Star Wars fans, as they call themselves, like complain about the special editions. I was a kid and I didn't
I mean-
notice the difference.
Yeah.
There was like
it's made
basically
it
no
You
bad.
get
difference.
you get one.
I was
more
confused
thing
why
with
they
the
gave me
Cantina
two.
band.
Why they gave me two
Another
different
song?
like
That's
CDs
right, play the
for
same
exactly
song.
the same film.
But
they just-
also, I have to say one more thing. The best thing about Star Wars is the Cantina band music.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. You're like your Total War master playing the trumpet.
Hey, he did a good, decent song.
Yeah,
Stop.
he was.
You got violence the law.
If you want to learn an
You'll die.
instrument, don't learn the trumpet as your first instrument. It's got 9 different combinations of things you can do. It's not.
Anyway, right. What I liked about the film, I liked the film. Fucking hell, it's a long time since I watched this. I mean, really, we should just watch the films and done it, but fuck it, we don't have time. We don't have time, damn it. But yeah, I loved the watching it after Revenge of the Sith, and then thinking, oh shit, that's Luke's kid. I like the bit where Obi-Wan sort of talks about the Force, talks about the Clone Wars and his father, and sort of just lies. Which is arguably, he shouldn't have done that. But then again, you can't really tell Luke that he just killed his own father, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I like the way like everybody, he talked about the Clone Wars and the fucking John Williams music in the background, which is fucking amazing. The whole film, the music was just spot on, and it's just fucking good. Alright, okay, that's enough.
Well, you know, a lot of it's ripped
enough, damn
off
it.
from the.
That's enough.
Actually, no, the
Quiet.
season.
I
Four
ordered you
seasons.
to be
it's-
quiet.
I know.
Alright.
So
good.
yeah, the Mars. You know, if you know it from the planets, the classical bit of classical music, the planets. If you listen to Mars, it's just the Imperial March, but like
Yeah,
it's massively
Anyway,
plagiarized.
back in. But when Obi-Wan first
John
spoke
Williams
about,
basically
shut the
just
fuck
stole
up.
it from an exhibit.
Be quiet. Shut
It
it.
was literally my turn.
This is not your turn. You're finished.
It is. It was my turn.
All right, it's quite enough out of you. Damn it. Okay. What I loved is like how Obi-Wan spoke about the clone. I got just muted him. I'm so sorry. Well, I like the way he spoke about the Clone Wars. But people back in 1977 were like, "What the fuck's the Clone Wars?" But anyway, that's what I loved about that scene with Obi-Wan talking about the Force. It was just like such a mystical thing back then, and everyone just the way he spoke about it was amazing. Even the fact that the actor himself didn't really know what the hell he was talking about, he just knew so much about it, and just like he spoke about it the way like how he didn't even know about it, and he just the way he spoke about it acted like he knew about everything. Anyway, what I like about it is like Aunt Beru and Uncle fucking hell, what's their names? Luke's uncle and aunt like are saying, like sort of foreshadowing that Luke's gonna be like a angry motherfucker at some point. Who the fuck is cheering outside my window? Shut the fuck up. Be quiet. Anyway, well, what did I like about the fact that fucking hell, I love the confrontation between Vader and Leia, like the fact that Vader doesn't know who that is.
The father-son idea is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm the only one who thinks that. Okay.
I agree.
Anyway, wow, this was really good. Tarkin, his acting was great. You may fire when ready.
Oh.
Like the perfect.
Yeah, but that's
fucking
again
villain.
like a fantastic classical actor who did like Shakespeare shit before.
Oh yeah.
So the actor for Count Dooku, that him and the actor for Tarkin used to do horror like terrible horror movies back in the day.
Christopher Lee
Have you
was
seen
a good
the
actor.
Wicker Man?
I have not.
The actor for Count Dooku is in it, and it's very weird because he's like young
Lollipops.
and he still talks like Count Dooku, and it's all he's meant to be like a dude.
Christopher Lee.
So it's like
Otherwise
he's
known as
yeah.
cavities on the stick.
Okay, yeah, I just keep calling him the actor in case you don't know he's called Christopher Lee. Yeah, Christopher Lee's young and he talks like Count Dooku still, and he's meant to be
Of
playing
course
a
we know who
duke.
Christopher
So
Lee
it's
is. Who did you take us for?
oh yeah.
Of course, I loved. Apart from the fight scene itself was pretty crap, but the confrontation between Obi-Wan and Vader was awesome. And if you watch Revenge of the Sith, and if you watch the whole trilogy in order, you'd be like, "Oh my god, this is it!" Like everything's sort of been leading up to that moment in a way. And the character development between Obi-Wan and Anakin. And like Anakin's obviously still fucking evil, but he's a lot wiser. And the same with Obi-Wan. And if you watch the is it SE 38 or 37? I can't remember now.
It's 38.
That's it. If you watch that scene, and that fucking video.
It's been 38 remake.
I mean, I put it in the video now, but I get copyright striked a bit, so don't want to risk that. But anyway, that fight scene is absolutely amazing. If I remember, I'll link it in the description somewhere. It's a fucking great.
But can you get copyright strike if you don't earn any money? And
It's like it's actually it's not actually they might
you
copy
get,
won't copy
you do
strike
get
it.
YouTube like they
Unless they
restrict
know
your
your video.
monetization. Like sometimes they put on there, this channel is not eligible to be not monetized at all. So that means even if you get the requirements, you still won't get monetized. So yeah. Anyway, what else was really good at? I loved the bit with obviously Han Solo and Chewie were that great friends, were really good. I loved that. Like the acting between the two was great, like Peter Mayhew and Harrison Ford. And obviously the design of the Millennium Falcon was good, and the I forget the small scene of Boba Fett. You're like, oh, okay, who the hell is that with that badass armor? This is really cool. And obviously the scene between Luke like going into like pilot combat. If you watch Revenge of the Sith, and then you see that scene, you're like, oh, Luke's just as good as just as good as a pilot as his father is. And
Yeah, well, everyone complains about Anakin being so vapid in the prequel trilogy, and talking in this monotonous way about sand and shit. If you watch the original trilogy, and you look at Luke, Mark Hamill's acting as Luke, he plays it as a really boring, almost emotionless hero, because he's even worse than Anakin. Except no one notices it because he just plays it like Marty McFly or something from all films. Because every 80s film has like a bland protagonist who's almost emotionless.
yeah, it's the same with Footloose
and
as
never.
well.
They all have them, so you don't notice. Whereas modern films have like more complex characters, so you actually criticize Anakin.
Yeah.
I would argue that the reason Rey is so boring is because they're trying to emulate Luke,
And the problem is it's just
but they do it in an
And
even
decent women.
worse way. Rey is by far worse than Luke, but still they're just trying to emulate that boring
even the
protagonist.
actors of the whole sequel trilogy was trying to warn us like, oh yeah, this is gonna be bad news. I got a bad
They're
feeling
bright.
about this. Like even Rey wasn't happy with like the actor who plays Rey wasn't just didn't agree with like how the way she was being portrayed at all. Anyway, back to the task at hand. I love the scene at the end with like the victory thing. That was just like really good
Yeah, I
scene.
like that.
And it's like, oh, they saved the day. Originally in George Lucas's, before he came up with The Empire Strikes Back and all that, that was going to be the way Star Wars just ended. It was just going to be a couple hour thing.
Yeah.
That was it.
Actually,
But
no. Have you
nah,
seen the
money.
interviews with him?
Huh?
Have you seen the interviews with him?
He
He said that he had an idea for the entirety of episode.
Yeah, but he had an idea,
yeah.
but he had no
He
idea.
had the idea for
episode
episodes
Oh, he had
2
an
all the
idea.
way to 6.
He had an
No.
idea.
He actually he wrote an entire thing for episodes 2 to 6. So
Yeah.
it started just before episode 2. Like during with Obi-Wan and Anakin on a mission or something, and it ended with episode 6.
Oh yeah.
And he had that as all as one film.
But the
And then
problem
he
is,
thought, but then he thought that he couldn't make it with the budget that he had. He had very low budget.
yeah.
And so he decided to just take a sliver of that story, and to make that a film. So he took the bit that was cheapest to make.
Yeah.
So he'd always planned that there was going to be something before. That's why he references
I think
the
he
clone
wanted
Wars.
to like make
It
the
wasn't a
film
throwaway
first and-
line. It was genuinely something he had planned.
Oh, yeah, he wanted to make the film first and be like, oh, so see what this is like, see if it works out. I think if it got a bad reception, he probably wouldn't have made a sequel. But with the reception it did, he obviously made. But we all know he made some because we spent the last couple podcasts talking about it. Anyway,
Yep.
but yeah, the celebration scene was great, and Vader sort of got his comeuppance in a way, but we all know it's coming back. But anyway, as a standalone film, I reckon it would have been it would have been a great film. But obviously there was just so much, and obviously would have been a sequel. But yeah.
Well, yeah, they set up a sequel. You know,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
executives at Universal hated him. Well, mainly because they also got rid of the thing of having the credits at the beginning. Credits used to be at the beginning of every film, and he moved them to the end. And what was the other thing? Oh yeah, because he set up for a sequel, and sequel baiting was like a thing that was massively hated by executives.
Yeah. Yeah,
You're meant to have a sequel
Hollywood,
if you
like,
wanted a
just hates
sequel. You weren't meant to tease a sequel.
Yeah.
So having Vader's ship survive was
Then
something.
again, that's like the way to make films. Like you got to sort of lead up to a sequel. I think pretty sure they did that in.
Yeah, that's how you do it now. But that's not
Yeah,
how they did
that's-
it.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen anything by Hitchcock?
Yes.
No, I have not.
Like, for example, Rear Window. If at the end of Rear Window, they'd seen another, he'd seen someone else being murdered, and then he ran down the street, and then the credits rolled. That would be sequel baiting, and everyone would have fucking hated Alfred Hitchcock for doing it. They used to be just films. Films were just made as films. They were single things.
Hollywood
Franchise.
like,
The idea of franchises is something that's new, and that
Yeah.
was sort of invented by Star.
Hollywood has a strong opinion against George Lucas. They just fucking despise him for some fucking reason.
Yeah, well, there isn't the reason there's a second Jaws or a second Jurassic Park is because George Lucas invented the idea of having a successful sequel after one successful film.
And then Fast and Furious came and destroyed it.
Then it gets a sequel.
Yeah, Fast and Furious, like, is it Fast and Furious 10 or something they're doing? 9
Fast and Furious 11.
Fast and Furious
that
a million.
thing is just never gonna end at this rate.
Even faster and even furious.
Like,
Furious.
they go from like a
Much
street
Seen
race.
it in the new.
They go from street race to
Much
like,
more
fucking government
speed
agents
and very
all that shit.
angry.
Okay, it's the 9th.
Ridiculous. Like, it's a
It's- I
decent
think- I think
franchise.
they
It's
should
not,
call
it's
the next
not
one
really
much
that
more
bad,
speed
but
and
it's
very-
a bit silly.
No, I hate Fast and Furious.
Okay,
I've
so
never
there's,
really watched it myself.
there's 10 Fast and Furious because there's also that Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna watch that actually. That looks doesn't look too bad on its own.
Yeah, I like that guy. What's his name? Guy from us. Rob Stark. Stark
It was Robert Johnson.
Well,
The
Idris
bald
Elba's-
guy.
What, Idris Elba? Or Rock?
Is that his name?
Pretty sure all the protagonists and antagonists, male guys, are all bald. Rock, the other guy, Idris Elba's pretty bald to be perfectly honest. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, should we give a quick rate of episode 4?
I'd give it 8 out of 10.
Yeah, me too.
I'd
Yeah,
give it a solid 6.
Ooh.
Jason Statham. That's his name.
Yeah, Jason Statham.
Jason Statham.
Oh, whatever.
You
doesn't
like
matter.
Jason Statham?
He's not a
Oh,
bad
yeah.
actor. It's all right.
It's like saying I like Jack Whitehall, or I like Adam Sandler. You just don't say it. No.
All right. What's your rating, Gandalf?
I like Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Whenever I say Gandalf, I just feel like you're gonna say something like really like smart and intuitive, and I'm like, what?
I feel like he's
The
just
journey
he's
does
just
not end here.
Danish Ace Ray. He's Danish Ace Ray.
He's undercover.
I'm gonna give it.
Yes, Ray.
I'll give it a.
Just
You have
say a
7
number.
7.5321.8.
Oh god, we're gonna have to do.
I'll give it a
maths in minute.
3.1415926.
I think I'm gonna give it like a 7.5.
Give it the number of pi.
It's alright.
Right.
Anyway,
so
on to Empire Strikes Back.
We're-
The one that I
moving on
sort of
to
regard
Empire.
as not the best film, but I didn't see anything really that wrong with it. To be perfectly honest.
what number did you give it, Rosen?
Oh, I said 8 out of 10.
8.
Boo!
That's what I said
Calm
as well.
down, kids. Calm down.
That's high.
Okay. Empire Strikes Back. Gandalf, what did you hate about it?
I don't know. I'm just here. I don't know why I joined this book.
I'm just here.
You just
I'm
here.
just vibing.
Right,
You
okay.
say- vibing,
You
man.
say
You
something
vibing.
and I'll implement that.
Okay. What else did anyone hate about
Implement.
it?
God, spending
Right,
too
Mythic,
much time
you
with
boy, what
mods.
do you hate about it?
Okay,
You may go first. You have more
No,
opinions
I always
than I
go
do.
first. I always go first.
I always go second, so you go first.
Oh, okay, fine. Right, I don't hate really. Okay, no. I think Empire Strikes Back is
Now that I've got 'em
fantastically
off me, I can look
overrated.
up a summary.
It's not even in my top 3 favorite Star Wars films. Empire Strikes Back. It's not as good as people say it is. People like it because of the beginning, which I will admit is really cool, and they like the fight because when they were a kid they liked it, and they also like the reveal that he's his father, which is not a reveal anymore. It was a reveal at the time, but because it's really, really obvious, it's like shoved in your face in episode 3, and people tend to watch episodes 1 through 6. It's not a reveal. It's only a reveal to It's not actually an impressive reveal, meaning it's worth absolutely.
Yeah, but back in
in the film.
1980,
So you
it
can't-
fucking was.
right? Yes, but but
Yeah.
it's not 1980, is it? So it's not.
It's a reveal for
devalues
the
it.
children.
Yeah.
It's like if Anakin decided, if the actor for Anakin started genuinely killing kids, right? It would devalue the
I mean,
worth
the
of
way
episodes
they
2
wouldn't
and
have known about it is if
yeah, but
if
it's
they
not
didn't
something.
show if they
The
didn't
film
show Anakin becoming
Empire
Darth
Strikes
Vader.
Back isn't a fantastic
Anakin.
film in 2020
Oh,
because it shocked audiences in 1980.
yeah, about 40 years ago it did.
Exactly, it's not a good film now
Funny
because
enough,
of
it's
that.
like 40
The
years old,
majority of the
actually.
film is just a chase, right? A really long ass chase scene.
Yeah.
Right, with bits that make no sense, like the dinner scene where he goes, please, we would like it if you join us. Makes zero sense.
I didn't think that was kind of cool though. How badass Vader was.
Right,
Like,
no, it just
I'd
makes
be
no
honoured if
sense
you
at
would
all.
join
Boba
us.
Fett does absolutely nothing. I think Jango Fett's better.
Boba Fett
because he
just
does
tracks them there.
He's cool, but he just sits there. He does nothing. He has like 2
His
lines.
helmet is awesome.
Yes, agreed.
Who's awesome?
His helmet.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Mandalorian
it is.
helmets are pretty badass. To be honest.
Yeah. Okay, Lando is kind of shoved in. He's good, but he's shoved in. Right, the carbonite stuff's cool, but it's better in not episode 6. It's
Yeah.
it's just nowhere near as good as people say it is. It's better than episode 4. I give it that, but it's
That's
nowhere near the
I
best.
just
Star Wars
love how sexy Bill D. Williams.
Who the hell
He's a
subscribes
sexy
to
man.
bloody OnlyFans? Come on, guys.
Ooh,
Jeez.
I mean, come on. He is a pretty sexy man. Yeehaw!
thank you.
All right, Adrian, you're up. As long as maybe. It's
Hey!
Right,
Okay,
now, fine.
I
Alright,
don't-
go.
Can you shut up for 5 seconds? Okay, no. I don't like Dagobah. Like, I liked the fact that I liked Yoda, but I just didn't like the whole going to his planet because I just didn't like the swamp. Like, I really didn't. I liked the reveal because at the time I didn't know it because it was like the first time we watched them over a series of like 3 days, and I had just been watching the Clone Wars, so I really had no idea that he was Luke's father at the time, and so it was a good reveal for someone who'd never seen it. But yeah, I just didn't like Yoda, and the movie was all around sort of boring. Like,
I just
it didn't accomplish that much.
It almost
It's
had the
kind of-
same effect Last Jedi did, but obviously
just-
this was better than Last Jedi.
Hoth was good though.
It's
Yeah.
just a bit weird.
Yeah, we'll admit Hoth is fantastic.
It's
I
just
did
a
like
bit
this
weird.
thing.
It's just a bit weird that Yoda is ultra badass in the sequel
Yeah.
movies, and then he's just a fucking little green guy who makes stew in a swamp area.
Judge me by my penis size. You
And stabs
Thank
him with a stick.
Oh god.
Love how fucking the Jedi.
Times were hard. Yoda.
Times were hard when I started
Anyway,
my OnlyFans.
What I didn't like about it was I'm trying to think now. There were some good scenes in that film, and yeah, I understand that the film was sort of in a way boring, and it was sort of a chase scene, which isn't that interesting.
There were some good scenes,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah. I didn't. I'm trying to think what I didn't like. Fucking hell. Quite a few things. I did like this film quite a lot, but is anything I really hated about it? I guess it's kind of a bit silly that they went inside of a fucking monster and then just didn't die.
Nah, dude, that's pro survival tip number 1.
And the fact that the commanders lost the fucking Millennium Falcon so fucking easily. It's like, it's a fucking tiny ship. Like, you got like fucking the best scanners in the entire fucking galaxy, and you can't fucking track a damn ship. Like, Vader did the right thing in choking the fucking life out of those idiots. Like, fucking hell. And, God, the bounty hunters sort of like, you saw those cool bounty hunters. only one of them like did something useful, and even then, it wasn't like a great deal. Like all that bounty hunter did was track them to fucking Cloud City, and that was it. I get that. I like the bit when like it was sort of a. I'm not discussing what I like, but what I didn't like afterwards is like Oh
Credit.
yeah. Oh, hold on a minute. The
Credit.
Luke and
Credit.
Leia kissing scene.
Ah,
Yeah.
She's my babe.
Pardon? She's what? What? What'd you say?
It's like Kylo Ren and Rey. There was no need for them to kiss.
Oh yeah. I think that it was just it could have been done a lot better if they developed it properly, but no, they didn't. But yeah, the Luke and Leia thing was a bit, but I mean I think at the time George Lucas was sort of going for Leia and Luke together, but then again he would have known that then probably didn't write in Leia being like his brother at the time, or his sister, sorry. So that's probably why he did that. I mean, after looking at it thinking, yeah, that's probably a bad idea to do that. Anyway, other than that, there's not I really hate about the film. It's alright. I mean, maybe the fucking hell. You know what? I think I've just I really hate. I didn't really hate a lot about the film, to be perfectly honest. What do you guys dislike? What do you guys like about the film?
Hoth.
I mean, like Gandalf first.
Ja, jeg tror den er sådan... Jeg tror man kan se den klokken 1 eller sådan noget.
Is that English? Oh no.
I was playing shit in the background. Turn it off. What the fuck is
That's not stuff. I think that's his family.
Turn the fucker off. Right, Gandalf. What do you like about the film?
Yes, I'll try and mute myself next time.
Alright, that's fine.
No worries, bro.
Alright, so what did you like about the film?
And it wasn't German, it was Danish. I'm not a German, for fuck's sake.
Did you honestly think it was
swines? Fucking
Schwein?
Schwein. Schweinland.
Schleswig-Holstein.
It is. No. Schleswig-Holstein is a state.
Alright, Mythic, what do you like about the film?
Are we rating it now?
No.
I already said what I liked. I liked Hoth.
No, but yeah, but is it
I
more
liked
than
Hoth.
Hoth? Is it more than Hoth?
I liked the reveal because for me it was good. I've only watched the movie once.
In that scene, you have to understand that Luke doesn't know. Like, it's a huge
I didn't know at the
fucking shock
time,
to Luke.
so
He was like,
I didn't know
"What the
either.
fuck?"
So it was a shock for me too. So I thought it was great. I thought that was the reveal, but they spent too long working, and then I didn't like Yoda. Just didn't.
Boo. No.
Your boy, what do you like about the film?
Excusez-moi, mademoiselle.
Your boy, have you died or are you alive?
He is both dead and alive.
He's been assassinated, okay. Well, that's that then. What the hell are people so
Yo.
like, what? Oh, you're... What? What the fuck happened to your voice?
No, I think we're talking about you.
Oh.
Oh, I don't know what we're talking about then.
Oh, man, fucking your boy
I don't know.
turn up.
I don't know then.
Your boy, I can fucking hear you. Move. Hello.
Then you know, you've been dead in 12 years.
He has been.
Yeah.
I mean, someday the Lucium.
I'm 37.
What?
Not.
Two
No, you're not.
mistakes.
Secretly, your body. The infidel. Speaking of infidel, where the fuck did your boy go? He just disappeared.
He did. That's what I'm saying.
Where the fuck did he go?
Off topic. Let's.
Oh, he's dead. Okay. Well,
Oh,
fuck him, man. Oh, he's back. Hello? What are you doing?
The man behind the slaughter.
What? What the
We were
hell?
going silent. It's the silent
Yes.
game.
Yes.
I like this game. It's very fun.
It's a fucking podcast.
Whose
not a
turn is it?
fucking
Isn't it?
game.
Isn't it Frozen?
It's your
stuff?
game. It's not fucking hell. It's your
Your
game.
game!
My go. I've already said what I thought about Empire.
Well, no, don't say what you like about it.
Oh, right now, Akira, I like the opening scene with the 8080s. It's very cool and very well done. I like
that's
a
good,
bit
yeah.
of stop motion. I like the Wampa. It's cool, even better in the special edition.
Yeah.
Agreed.
are we talking about
The thing he slept in.
We're talking about the film as it is now, so yeah, include the special edition, not just how it was when it came out.
Yeah.
I mean, the second. Are we talking about this?
We're talking about Empire, yeah. Empire Strikes Back. That's about it, really. I didn't really like much about Empire. It's nowhere near as good as people say it is. It's just the best out of the three.
Yeah. Anyway, what I liked about the film was, obviously the Hoth battle was again pretty badass, pretty good. It was great to watch. And obviously you can see like how utterly outgunned the Rebel Alliance is compared to the Empire. They clearly
Yeah,
stabbed the
the
manpower down to
hopelessness.
artillery. Also, I
There's
love
the
the scene where
hopelessness of it that
Luke
makes it-
sort of like definitely uses the Force and grabs a lightsaber. Even Mark Hamill himself said he didn't like the scene where he cut off the Wampa's arm. He felt that was a bit too harsh for Luke's own character. So that's what he didn't like about the
Harsh?
film. Yeah.
He doesn't really do any. He basically has no character. He's a very bland character.
Oh well, moving on.
So it's nice that he has any form of depth at all.
I kind of like the scene. I kind of like the love scene between Han and Leia. That was nice. Despite
I
the
like-
fact she
yeah, I
kissed her
like
own
this
brother,
one.
but other than that, I love like sort of the relationship that they have. Like she thinks he's a bit of a dick, and then after a while, she sort of warms up to him. And obviously the meeting like Billy D. Williams as Lando, I thought that was pretty good because Lando's
Yeah.
obviously I thought he's quite a funny, cool character.
I do like Lando. He's a good inclusion.
Yeah. And it's quite funny the scene between Han shutting off C-3PO whenever C-3PO kept speaking, which is really funny. The probability of surviving that encounter is 3,000. Shut it.
Yeah, the banter's always good.
Yeah, it's a laugh.
It's Empire Strikes Back. Is that the movie where they are at what's it called? Lando's place.
Yeah.
They
Best
meet
one.
off. Daddy.
What? Anyway. Yeah. Also, I like the whole scene with Darth Vader like commanding the fleet. I thought that was just great. Like, and the fact that someone disobeyed and he choked him immediately.
Yeah.
That shows how much of a like fucking how pissed
The
off
brutality
that
was
character
great. They always tried to replicate it in the sequels with Kylo killing people all the time,
is. Yeah.
but it's never as good as when
never as violent.
there's sort of he goes through about 3 different commanders in the space of about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Like there's like 3 fucking promotions. Wow, it's a great scene. Yeah, the thing with the sequel trilogy with Kylo Ren, they didn't make it as brutal enough. Like that's why Star Wars should have been like R-rated. Like it would have been like fucking lot more brutal. And just
Yeah,
fucking
that's what I was arguing for
Holy
in
crap.
basically all of the new movies.
Yeah. Like in the Clone Wars, even that was brutality. And that was said for kids. Like fucking hell, Savage Opress threw a fucking double-bladed lightsaber and beheaded like 20 people.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the
What?
Clone Wars is fucked. We're doing Clone Wars and Rebels next, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, or
All
yeah.
the all you can do.
Next
the
time.
Well,
anthology
actually, have you
films.
seen
I
all
haven't
of Clone
watched
Wars and Rebels?
Yeah, I've seen it all.
I've seen
Yeah,
it all.
I've seen it.
You need to
Can't
watch
we
the
just
the
go-
highlights of it.
Gandalf?
Can't you talk about Star Wars Connect?
Yeah.
Star Wars Connect.
I'm Han Solo, Han Solo, Han Solo, Solo.
What?
They cancelled Battlefront 3 so we could have Star Wars Connect.
What the fuck?
We didn't.
I
We never
wanna
got
talk-
Okay,
I wanna-
moving on.
I want to talk
Moving on.
about Battlefront.
Moving
We're
on.
not moving on.
Yes,
Star
we are.
Wars Connect.
What are we talking about? Star
Oh,
Wars
okay.
Connect. Jesus
Thought we were
Christ.
moving on. My bad,
Right.
my bad.
Okay. Another
offense,
thing I loved about the film is the Vader sort of like ambushing them. You were honoured if you would join us. So I thought that was really funny. I thought it was kind of funny and a bit like, oh bollocks.
Gonna temporarily mute and deafen myself for like 30 seconds.
Alright,
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
30 seconds.
All right. Anyway, another thing I liked about the film was the duel between Luke and the train between Luke and Yoda was pretty good. I loved that scene, and it shows you how even Yoda's like a small, like he's not like not like a normal human character, like masculine Jedi. He just like uses like even for his size, he can just like fucking lift up a huge bloody X-wing like it's nothing. And that was great. And I love the scene when Obi-Wan sort of comes back as a ghost and he's like, "Don't do it, Luke," and he's sort of like he turns up again. It's great.
I just think it's funny to like.
It's all true from a certain point of view. See, the original trilogy is full of plot holes that it creates itself.
Yeah, that's another
Whereas
thing I didn't understand.
The
But we get to
prequel
that later.
trilogy does not have its own self-contained, law-breaking, fucking fucked up holes in its own plot.
Yeah, we
Okay,
we get
what
to
the
that
fuck is
later
that
on, but-
cave?
Yeah.
No, we still don't know what that cave is. That cave just exists,
Oh yeah.
and it's supposed to like tell you things.
It comes up in
something.
Force Unleashed 2 as well.
Yeah, but what the fuck is it?
It's like a place where it's like where Yoda.
They
went
don't explain it
Mortis,
within the
like, he's
film.
not
You should-
Mortis,
Well, you should be able to. You should be able to watch the films all the way through and understand everything in them,
yeah.
all the way from 1 to 6. You should be able to understand it all, and then you should be able to watch expanded media or listen to expanded media in the case of audio dramas,
Yeah.
and then have this extra cool thing. So you find out Maul survived, but because it's not important to the overall story, it's just like a nice thing to have on the side.
Yeah,
Same
Star
with
Wars does
Ahsoka.
this
It's
thing
not
where they like,
Ahsoka's
oh,
not
yeah.
actually important. She doesn't actually kill anyone. Asajj Ventress, she's not actually important. She doesn't actually kill anyone or interact with or cause any great harm. See, it's nice to have. You got to have two separate things: the films and the extended media. And you should not have, for example, in Solo, have extended media make something in the films not make sense unless you've seen the expanded media. For example, Maul should never be in Solo. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah,
I
I
think-
did like the reference of Maul being
I-
there. I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty funny. Just that spirit. What Obi-Wan Kenobi like, and a very epic and depressing moment for Luke Skywalker, and then you just hear this very strange voice. Luke, use the Force.
Oh god, Ace Reigns sent me a message. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, read it.
Anyway, yeah, fucking read it. Fuck it, I'll do it on camera.
He keeps sending me pictures of Melkor.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Tim and
That's
Reigns will say
Oh,
it.
well,
Alright, chill out.
Another
mate,
YouTube
chill out.
video, so that's nice.
Okay. Another thing I loved about the film is the fight scene between Anakin. It's Darth Vader and Luke. That was amazing. Despite like maybe the CGI wasn't amazing, but the scene itself was better. It was like the best fight scene we could have gotten, I would say. And you could also see the terror and like Luke's acts all brave. He's like, "I'm not afraid of you," and all this shit. But after a while, Luke is sort of like, "Yeah, fuck this. I'm not gonna survive this."
Yeah.
Like it's a great scene, and it shows how good of a fighter Vader is, and shows you how good of a fighter Luke has become, despite him not having a lot of training. And it makes sense for Vader to ultimately win the whole fight, because it's Darth fucking Vader. What chance do you have?
None.
Exactly. Anyway,
That's
that
what-
scene was great, and the bit
We're
when
enemies.
I do like that Luke has flaws as a character in this
yeah.
film, because
It's something Rey should
he's
have
just an
had
action
too.
hero with no flaws in episode 4.
He's just a boy.
Oh
It's
no!
like with
I
Rey,
love
she
how
beat the shit out of
I love
Kylo
how
Ren, despite him being a better.
Okay, just
fucking
gonna go back
fighter.
to episode 4 for a quick second. Luke mourns Obi-Wan, who he met 5 minutes ago, more than Leia mourns her entire planet.
I think we mentioned that before.
Yeah, no, he just said that she doesn't feel sad, but Luke actually mourns, meaning that they acknowledge that mourning exists in this world. They just pretend like Leia doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Anyway,
Which
that
which
scene
is
between them was awesome. Watching them fight, and then the bit when Luke sort of lost his hand, that was like, holy shit, he's just lost a fucking hand. And then the bit, and then after that, when he's like, I am your father. That was like, oh my god. And it's the first time. It's the first time like Luke is like, holy shit,
That's such a
Obi-Wan
sexy
fucking
impression.
lied to me. And it's a huge shock for him as well. But yeah, that was a great scene. And then the bit when Luke sort of goes Leia, and then we realise, oh wait, Leia can use the Force too. Who is Leia? Obviously, we know who she is. If you watched back in 1980, you wouldn't know who the fuck she is. But yeah, that and the ending scene was great with the music at the end. The music as well is just one thing about Star Wars. It's just fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a fucking great fucking scene at the end as well, with them just like, we're gonna find Han. The one thing that I found really odd was that Lando was wearing Han Solo's shirt at the ending scene.
Yeah, that's a bit fucked,
like,
isn't it?
what? Why would he be wearing his shirt? Like, what? That was one of the scenes I was like, wait, what makes no sense? But other than that, the ending scene was great, and it was interesting to see that Luke just got a new hand. It was like, oh, okay. I feel like that's a scene that we should have gotten like at the beginning of the next film, instead of just like, oh, his hand's just been repaired straight away, like it was just nothing.
Oh,
He's dead. I imagine he's been assassinated.
yes.
Oh, he's back. Okay. But yeah, anyway, let's do a rate of the film.
What, episode 5?
Yes, episode 5.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the
Oh,
film.
What?
It's
Six.
Empire. There we go. So
Empire
episode 5.
Strikes Back. Damn it!
6 out of 10.
The British Empire.
I give it.
Strikes
Yeah,
Back.
I give it a 7.
It has more to offer than the first one, so I'll give it a 8.
Yeah. It's sort of the same thing. Well, no, it sort of led into like the next sequel, but it's sort of had that mystery about it. It's like, oh, a bit like Last Jedi, it like left it with nothing. That's another thing.
Yeah. Actually left things opened up.
Yeah. And arguably, Attack of the Clones obviously not, because you had the whole Clone Wars coming afterwards and all that, which is its own thing on its own. Anyway, yeah, I'd probably give it a 8. I'd probably say 8 to be fair. Has everyone else done
Lagging a little bit.
Makes sense.
Has everyone else done theirs?
I've said 6 out of 10 for me.
Gandalf, you done yours?
6 out of 10.
Yo, your boy's dead again. What the fuck is
Dying.
he doing? Is his internet like just crashing?
He spilled tea.
Yep.
Okay, so your boy, what is your rate?
I've already said it. I said 7.
Oh yeah, okay. We all said 7 except me.
7. I give it
on
a
to
7.
Return of the Jedi and its many sort of.
Okay, now we're on
things.
Return of the Jedi.
All right, what was the thing that we
Big
all
one.
disliked about the film? Gandalf, go first.
Right, am I going first? Am I being...
Just
peer
three of you
pressured
go
into going first?
after each other.
Oh, okay.
Hurry up and fucking say something then.
Princess Leia got us. Jabba.
It's Gandalf starting.
I don't know, just whoever wants to go first.
That was what I want.
I don't care.
Let's go
that
Gandalf.
was
No,
all.
no, no.
That was all I have.
Fucking Gandalf, Mythic, your boy. Go.
Anime.
Sexy Leia and
Yes.
epic fight between Luke
Yes.
and Darth Vader. Very epic.
Yes.
And that father and son relationship still remains, and then he kills Palpatine.
Yes.
It's in your gene. It's in your DNA that you want to save your son, even though you're not.
That was the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of the Jabba the Hutt stuff.
I quite liked it. I thought it was fine. It was good.
It was probably my least favorite part.
Oh yeah. No, I hate the fucking Ewok.
Oh yes, thank God! I hate the Battle of Endor. It was so boring.
Okay, but the Battle of Endor could have been so cool.
It felt so anticlimactic.
Yeah, because if it could have been if it was made on the budget of Episode 3 with all the CGI and green screens, they would have had like half the forest burning. They wouldn't have been any like dumb-looking Ewoks that were just made to sell toys. They would have been actually good aliens, and they would have been
Honestly, I don't mind the Ewok characters,
just like really
but
overpowered.
they're just there because
the battle's so boring. They could have played a
Lucas
better
thought
part.
it was his final film. He wanted to make as much money off toys as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
you
fine.
It could have been better if like the Ewoks weren't that overpowered. I mean, to be fair, they weren't that bad, but I mean, you know,
They were terrible. They were incompetent. The stormtroopers were more incompetent than they usually are. I'll say.
I just wish they'd had a more like Vietnam-esque role where they were doing a bunch of guerrilla warfare.
strikes.
You wanna have the Viet Minh, have the fucking Viet Minh.
Welcome to the jungle. We like
No,
flying
I wanted the Ewoks setting like spike traps.
Sympathy for the Devil playing in the background.
Yeah, but they were just so
Black.
useless, and they were like, I just felt like the battle was so boring and anticlimactic. It could have been so much better.
But yeah, it could have been better. Yeah. I
You know,
to be
yeah.
fair, the CGI back then wouldn't have, if the fucking original trilogy was made in like now, it'd be like fucking amazing. But
I don't know.
it's
Modern
limited.
CGI gets worse because people do less practical effects now.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, practical effects can really sell you on stuff. Like
Yeah,
there's
like
a way.
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings compared to The Hobbit.
No. There are
Like the
certain
Lord of-
shows. There are shows which do practical effects so well that you genuinely like. There's a
Yeah.
show I watched as a kid called Prehistoric Park. It's just some terrible British TV show. It's not terrible, but it's a British TV show. It only had one season, and it has a scene where an amphibian in the water goes after our protagonist, and he picks it up in his hands. And the animatronic is so realistic that and when the camera moves back to like as the thing lunges and tries to get out of his hand, it's genuinely unbelievably realistic. It's so realistic because if you get the practical effects right, you can 100% believe it. But
Yeah.
even if you get CGI perfect, you're gonna know it's not real or it's not there because your mind goes that is too difficult of an effect to be done as a practical effect.
Well, see, that's what I loved about Lord of the Rings, and that's why Lord of the Rings is my favorite movie or the trilogy is my favorite movie trilogy of all time. Because the orcs, like, there were so many unique orcs, and most of those orcs weren't just CGI'd. I mean, granted, large numbers of them were, but the ones you saw up close were people in makeup, and they looked so much more realistic than the goblins and orcs in Hobbit.
Yeah.
And I think hate Hobbit. I think it's fine, but no, we're talking about practical effects, and I think. Granted, they could have taken a bit of CGI liberty. They could have had a few smoke machines and then had some like flaming in the back as CGI, and that would have made Endor so much better. But it was just like this lousy forest.
If they just had a scene where they set off a fire and it started burning down part of the forest.
Stormtrooper flamethrowers.
Yeah,
that's what they did. That's what they did in the First Order, but then they didn't actually burn anything with it. They just burned
it's like
did fuck all.
Yeah.
That's so they could sell a toy.
Again.
I bought that toy because I was a fucking idiot.
I bought that toy.
The problem in most
I've
films
genuinely still got the Flame Trooper First Order.
The problem with most films nowadays is that they just like make any kind of crap with CGI and like, CGI will cover all the goodness of the film. No, it fucking won't. Without good writing or charisma, the fucking film's gonna suck ass. Anyway, Adrian, you said what you didn't like about the film. I think everyone has, didn't they? Yeah.
Wait, whose turn is it? It's Gandalf's, isn't it?
I thought we still going when we finished.
Gandalf, go on, Gandalf. Gandalf, the non-binary fellow.
Come on, Gandalf,
What
the
do I have to talk
non-binary.
about?
What the fuck? Right, ready?
What
You
did
going?
I have to
Let's say what you didn't like about the film.
answer? Well, I can't really remember a lot from it, but
I get that. Oh wow!
it was just awesome.
Fair enough.
Is that thunder? Because that was loud.
I didn't hear it.
What was that? Sorry, my I might lose power if it's an actual storm.
No, you'll be fine. You may get a tornado, but that'll be alright. You'll be fine. You'll just be sitting in the fucking cold doing the podcast.
Shouldn't be.
I'll
Whatever.
be reading out the
Probably.
fucking script and he's just shouting, "Fucking tornado, get down!"
Yeah.
Anyway, what I didn't like about the film was that the Ewoks were a bit overpowered. It was like, oh, okay, like they threw rocks at a stormtrooper armor and it just died. Like you think they bounce off them or something, it would be a bit more resilient, but no. And I thought it was silly how Palpatine died pretty easily. Like he just fell down the fucking hole.
Yeah.
It was really kind of.
I liked it though. I liked that part.
What I would have liked it, and it's what I liked in like the Leia game, is that the Palpatine pulled out a lightsaber and fought Vader and Luke. Like that would have been an amazing scene. Like Vader fights Luke and he like gives in, and then Vader and Luke join together and fight Palpatine. That would have been good. Then Vader sort of sacrificed himself to save Luke, and then kills the Emperor.
I loved that. That was
badass.
the best part.
Oh god. And what
Yeah,
else
that's
did I
like a
about it?
redemption. I like a good redemption.
What else I didn't like about the film was I did like how they elaborately planned was to get Han back, but it just seemed like a bit silly. Like why didn't they just like just smoke the place out and just go in there, just fucking go mental. Yeah, I think Luke wanted to do the Jedi thing and sort of debate, but again it was just it was a bit silly really. They all just went in there when they could have just like stormed the place. Like fuck, what the hell? But there you go. I guess, and then again, how Yoda sort of died like rather easily. I mean, yeah, I get he's 900 years old.
You know, the only reason he's in the film is because someone told George Lucas that they wouldn't believe, that the children wouldn't believe that Vader was actually Luke's father unless one of the good guys told him. So they actually made an entire sequence of the film that Luke goes back.
I
so
did
that
like the
Yoda
scene. I
would,
did like
so
that
that
he went back,
so that Yoda would tell him.
Yeah. It was a bit. Well, I did like the scene. It was Yoda's sort of final goodbye. Really, like it would have made more sense once watching the prequels. Like, oh, it's sad to see Yoda finally go. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
What else do I like about the film? I don't know. How silly it was that the rebels stood much of a chance. Like the rebels would have got sort of surely got annihilated without a lot more ships there. Like
They shouldn't have won, really.
yeah, that's probably gonna read out Revenge of the Jedi and see what that has to offer.
Also,
Anyway.
killing all the leaders. I wanted there to be a line or something, just so that we didn't have to have the sequel trilogy. Just so we know it's open ended.
Yeah.
That which goes Han or something.
Like you cut out.
Is like walking out, and then Han goes. This isn't over, isn't it? Or there are still hundreds of armies out there. And Luke goes, I know, and we'll keep fighting until we win. And then it would acknowledge that it isn't actually the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then it would make a sequel trilogy feel less forced.
Exactly.
And also, even if a sequel trilogy doesn't exist, it would make sense.
It'd be alright if they sort of like the Imperial Empire and all that Imperial just like sort of disappeared and then returned 20 years later or something, like under Thrawn or like say.
Don't even have it disappear. Just have Thrawn's remnant. Just fight Thrawn's remnant. That's it. He was strong. He was a warlord.
I did like the idea of like the First Order. They had cool armor. The armor was pretty cool. And
yeah, no, that's not bad, but
and it had
didn't make
things
much
to actually
sense.
combat lightsabers as well, which would make sense.
Yeah,
Lightsabers with our game changer on the battlefield. Sorry, mate, that scene with the rebels got fucking annihilated because of fucking how badass Vader was with a lightsaber. They were fucked. they were. The only thing they had was.
I really like that inclusion because otherwise you think that Vader is really, really, really weak. And you don't actually fear him in Empire Strikes Back because what you see in what's it called in Rogue One, that Vader is still just as strong as he used to be as Anakin.
Yeah.
Or even just a little bit less strong than he was as Anakin. And he's full of rage and strength. So when Yoda says to Luke, "Oh, you can't beat him. He's too strong for you." You, as the audience, genuinely believe it because you've seen him fight with
Yeah.
power. Whereas otherwise, if you were the audience, you'd go, "He's weak as fuck now. It took him ages to beat a random old guy." In Episode 4, right? And also, you can explain Episode 4's battle
I
as
mean, if you
being
watch the
slow.
Clone Wars,
Is that they're
Anakin's a
both
fucking
really cautious
badass.
of each other.
I mean, he took down waves of droids on his fucking own most of the time. Like, anyway, what else I didn't like about the film was what the fuck was it?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Right.
I don't know. I felt there could have been more to this scene of Palpatine. Like that scene, there could have been just a bit more
Which
to
scene?
it. Well, there could have been something that led up to that whole bit.
Which scene's this?
Well, you know, but when Luke sees Palpatine, there could have been just more to that scene.
Yeah.
Like more we found out about Palpatine before Luke went there or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, other than that, we go on to what we liked about the film. Who wants to go first?
Yeah.
Right, so,
All right.
what do you think of the fight at the end? I really liked the fight at the end.
Well, just,
with
just
the,
talk,
because
just
it
talk about what you
showed-
liked first, and then we can talk
Like
about
the
it later.
emotional depth of like that ending fight scene is by far the best fight scene.
And the music as well.
Because
which
you
is
have
perfect.
the yeah, because you got Vader. Because he's weaker, he's older now. Vader is a lot older. Because there's a big time skip between episode 5 and 6.
Yeah, from one
There's
to
about 3
one
years.
from 4 to 6, it's like 5 years.
It's like 5 years between
Yeah.
them. So he's like 60 years old, and he's
He's not
decrepit
60,
in
he's
that
like,
suit.
He's still,
Really-
he's like
he's-
50 something.
He's
Yeah.
quite old by the point of episode 6.
Yeah.
Vader. So he uses mental tactics to
Then
try and
again,
get
Count
to Luke.
Dooku was fucking 80 years old for fuck's sake, and he was still pretty good.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah, what a, like,
the fact he wasn't in a suit. He
200.
wasn't in the suit,
Oh,
and
yeah,
he hadn't
yeah.
been burnt off already. And the suit, the suit was purposely old.
Yeah,
like,
It was
it-
old
it-
and made
it was
uncomfortable.
part
Yeah,
of
the
Palpatine's
technology-
plan
the
so that
technology is like from-
Vader
is like-
wouldn't betray
The technology
him.
was pre-episode 1 technology. All the technology used to make Vader's suit. Like when
Yeah,
they had the ability
because
to recover
everyone
someone
keep
to the
it
point of
weaker.
General
Surprised that
Grievous.
Vader didn't
But they
like,
decided, they decided to give him a faulty suit so he'd feel the most pain.
Yeah, I mean the plot hole
Yeah.
behind that suit is that Vader never upgraded the suit. I think it's because it
Yeah, 'cause
controlled his
'cause-
anger to the point where he could fucking go like berserk.
He'd harness the suit's weaknesses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, another thing I didn't like was the plot holes. Was Leia remembered her mother. What for? Like she was a fucking baby. All right. Like even though it's your mother, you're not gonna remember like your mother when
Yeah,
you
she
were
didn't.
in
That's
baby.
see, look, it's another plot hole that
Exactly.
the episode 6 creates.
Yeah, episode 3 could have like
The
prequels
original
could have
trilogy
fixed that.
creates so many. There's no way that they could have properly worked around the fact that Leia.
Well, no, they could have
Um,
just had Leia like Padme live in Alderaan for a couple of years.
The
and
only
then
thing
pass
they could have
away.
really done is have Leia be born actually before episode 3, and she's about 4 years old or something during episode 3.
But the thing is though that Anakin would never have kept that quiet with the council. They would have sensed it immediately. unless
Exactly.
Palpatine
That's the
kept
point.
it.
That's the only way they could have gotten around that, because episode 3 is perfect the way it is. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be fucking manipulated to work around a terrible plot hole that's worked in by one line in episode 6. This is the problem with the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Anything good about it is invalidated by stuff in the prequels.
Exactly.
The prequels are better.
Anyway, what is everyone for? Gandalf, do you want to go first about what you liked about the film?
Well, I've already said.
Yeah, have you got?
I've
anything
already
to add?
said. Not really. I think I've touched on everything I thought was good.
Yeah. But yeah. What I liked about the film. Yeah, the other thing I didn't like, actually, I know I'm talking about something else, but
I liked
the-
the ending.
the scene was sort of drawn
May,
out
may
a
I
bit in
may I just
Endor.
may I just say for a second that the real Akbar has uploaded a video on a Westphalia campaign.
Oh god.
Oh yes.
He is, as of yet, the only person to ever play as Westphalia,
Not
and
true.
that's counting. No one plays as
I
Westphalia.
know someone who has.
Who?
My dad started a Westphalia game.
Oh my god, your dad played Lucian.
Yep.
Your dad is a Lucian fan.
No.
God.
Oh my god, that is
Anyway,
fucking
guys,
great.
I'm gonna go for what I liked. What I liked about the film was like the infiltration of Endor was pretty good, and the scene between Obi-Wan.
Hitler Adolf.
It's so good.
Yes, when you quite finished.
It's just called Hitler and Godwinson.
What? What the fuck?
Isn't that a reference to Frozen, your video, where you said Godwin Adolf, that's a problematic name, but then you started talking about how it was Hitler's birthday
Yeah.
and that you could die from getting high or something.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Uh,
It was like, was it? It was.
You
it
were
was
like
420,
that's a
wasn't
good
it?
way to kill yourself.
Yeah,
As
'cause
if, like,
it's funny
getting
enough. It was
high
Hitler's
kills
birthday
you.
as I played that game. It was really funny.
You're playing it on Hitler's birthday, and you were like Adolf. Yeah,
It
that's
wasn't
not-
even planned. It was like,
No.
oh yeah, it's fucking
I-
Al's birthday.
I put that there simply because it's at the front of the alphabet and then it lift like the list of names, so it's easy to copy and paste. And being lazy.
Anyway, guys,
It wasn't me. I swear,
what I-
guys, I'm not a
guys.
Nazi.
what I liked about the film, obviously the fight scene and the confrontation between Palpatine and Luke was amazing.
Nikolai Zelensky from getting shot.
And the scene
Jeez.
was. Shut up. Be quiet. The scene between seeing Obi-Wan sort of tell the truth about Anakin being Luke's father and then revealing you have a sister, then it was everyone looks at that scene in Empire Strikes Back and like, what the fuck?
Exactly. It's invalidated by its own sequel. It doesn't make any. I don't like the original. I do like them. They're good films. There's nowhere near.
Yeah, if you look too
Quality
closely,
of-
it just makes it shit. Anyway,
It does. They
I
get
did like the
worse. the
scene.
more
I
you
did
look
like the
at them.
scene where Luke sort of told Leia about her, that they're related and all that. That was nice, and it sort of made Leia think, "Oh, she's a Jedi." Oh, well, not a Jedi, but a Force user.
I liked ending with Darth Vader telling Luke to take his helmet off.
Yeah, that was a,
It,
that was a great scene.
It really shows some that Darth Vader still sees Luke as his son.
I agree. What else was that? That was good. Obviously Yoda. That scene was pretty sad. And then them rescuing Han Solo was a good scene as well.
Did that? That was terrifying.
And
Scary
and
motherfucker.
I like the fact that oh yeah, another thing that was a bit stupid is that it had a fucking hole, a huge bloody trench in a Death Star. I mean, I get that it was still being built and all, but they should have would have patched that up if they were going to go to battle.
They were able to like fly directly in through it. They were able to fly in.
Anyway, yeah, that scene was good though. The scene when he just blew up the Death Star, I thought it was pretty cool. But despite the fact that it's a bit of a fucking design flaw. But anyway,
Why didn't they just destroy the Death Star by using fucking
Why did they go?
what's it called? Hyperspace. It works.
You know, it would
Yeah,
be
do a
much
hold
more-
that maneuver.
Much more
Into-
effective to build 1 million Super Star Destroyers than one Death Star. It probably costs the same amount.
In the Last
Yeah.
Jedi, it works. So
Exactly.
I mean, the Emperor must be pretty bankrupt after all his fucking constructions.
Yeah, he must be.
I mean, if he's a
That'll
fool,
be-
he's
that'll be
he's got
tax-
fuck tons of gold. It's like something if I did the Empire in the Star Wars Total War mod, the Empire's gonna have to have a lot of cash. But yeah, anyway. What else was really good in that film? I mean,
They're all
obviously
good
the
films.
bit when
They're
Luke
all-
sort of stood up to Palpatine was great, and he was like, "Nope,"
Yeah.
and he just get. You know, I kind of feel like Luke should have like deflected the lightning, but then again, he may have not learned that skill. And it was sort of the right moment for Vader to like turn to Anakin and do that. Also, the scene when he meets Vader again in Endor, and then you have accepted the truth, and then Luke goes, "You have accepted the truth that I was once that you was once Anakin Skywalker, my father." That was a good scene.
My father.
And it was
That
like,
mean
sort of-
name.
and you can
nothing
see the
to
Vader's
me.
conflict as well.
The name of your true self you've only forgotten.
Yeah,
I can literally quote it directly. It's awful.
that was a great scene. But anyway, that's yeah, it's not a lot else in that scene. That was, I mean, it was a great film overall, but there was the key scenes you remember are the Death Star getting blown up, the battle between Vader and Luke, and
did you guys know that 51% of all page production is in China?
lovely.
I don't know why to know that, but
Anyway,
Thank you.
should we do a rate of the let's do
So-
guys. Right, let's do a rate of the film itself.
8. 8.
8.
I give it a 6.
Giving it an 8.
I'll give it an 8.
I'm gonna give it.
I
a 9.
really liked
I'll give it a
it.
9. I loved it. It's a good film. It's my second favorite to Revenge of the Sith. I'll be honest.
What the fuck? Return of the Jedi is your second favorite
Yes.
Star Wars
Yes,
film.
it fucking is.
What the fuck?
Yes. it
Okay,
is.
right. Okay, let's add a final segment because we've actually reviewed every single one of the films now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Let's make
Well,
fun of
Except for
Eight.
the anthologies.
Oh no, we do that in a separate video. We don't need to do it now.
That's okay. We should do. Okay,
wanna read
when we
out
finish
the-
the
I want to do the
let's
one.
do the anthologies next, and then we'll do a rating of all of the films that, like in total.
I mean, we got
at
to
the
do
end
the
of that one.
Mandalorian or something. But you guys need to watch that. It's amazing.
No, we'll do all the shows.
And we got
in
to do
one.
Got to do
The Lego Star Wars game.
The Lego Star Wars. Yeah, do a video game Star Wars one would be great.
Battlefront.
Right, should we read out the Revenge of the Jedi draft we got here? Because that's quite interesting.
How long is it?
It's fairly long. Yeah, it's fucking long as shit. Holy crap. Actually, to be fair, we could do that in a separate video because it's long as shit. It's about 182 pages long. And
Oh
the
my
pages are
God.
fucking huge.
Okay, we should do an do.
We could do it in the next thing.
Yes?
I've put a copy in the no mic chat so we can read it whenever.
Thank you.
Alright, should we call it a day? Let's call it a day, I think. Thank you guys so much for watching this podcast. It's been fun. The next one we'll do will be anthologies. Either that or Revenge of the Jedi, whatever we go for.
Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. My name is Virgin for Life. Yep. You can also buy my fedoras on GandalfFedoras.com.
Nice. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
do that, guys. Do that, or
That-
God will kill you. But yeah, it's been fun. We'll probably do the anthologies next.
Yeah.
Or the Revenge of the Jedi sequence. What should we do next? Revenge of the Jedi or anthologies?
No, we're doing do anthologies.
Yeah, we could do Revenge of the Jedi now and sort of that sort of does
Revenge of the
everything.
Jedi. What the fuck are you on about?
That's the original George Lucas plot line.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, we won't read it out.
No,
'cause
let's
the video-
do that. Let's
Wow.
do that with the anthologies. We'll do the
Oh yeah,
anthologies.
yeah, because
there
only two anyway.
there's only 2 anthology films. We're gonna have to fill up the time somehow.
Yeah. Anyway, we do the anthologies and then we'll likely do the Clone Wars and Rebels afterward, or maybe we'll do it in this Clone Wars as one video and the Rebels as another. But we'll see. We got to do the Mandalorian and we'll probably do a Star Wars video game one, and after that we'll likely do something else. But if any of you guys have made it to the end of this podcast, let me know whatever podcast you would like us to do. As long as it's something we're
Totally.
interested in, we'd be happy to do so.
We'll do the anthology films next. And
Oh,
we'll do a
yeah.
little.
For next.
We'll
for
do a
next
little
time.
read through of Revenge of the Jedi, which sounds like a terrible fan fiction, but we're going to do it ananyway. So stay tuned for that in about 4 weeks once he gets through all of his
Yeah.
install guides.
Then again, by the time you're watching this, it's gonna be yeah, whatever. Fuck it.
Lockdown will have ended. We'll
Yeah, peace and
Yeah,
justice to the
hope you
Republic.
guys enjoy. Mythic has
Second-
to go for a minute, so he's gonna leave now. Goodbye, everybody.
All right, guys. See you
Three,
next time. Bye.
2, 1.
Lift off.